Good morning, everybody. I sold a car, a couple weeks ago, and before I sold it, I took my speakers out of it. And I didn't realize that I had actually only taken one speaker out. So I have a single speaker laying around that I wasn't quite sure what to do with. And I was looking around Amazon and found a small Bluetooth module with a amplifier on it. So I bought it, and today we are gonna turn a Bluetooth module and use a old car speaker basically. I hope you enjoy. Alright, I'm gonna clean this up with some sandpaper and be back in a minute. Well, that still didn't make it all the way through. Crap. I guess I'll do this. Alright, I have a line on there, right there. That's about how big the speaker and the mounting tabs are. So I'm gonna make a little bit better mark and then we'll start working it. Okay. I will be back here in a little bit. We gotta fix some stuff. Alright, this thing's been sitting for a few days. I think it's pretty close to being centered. If it doesn't hold up here, I'm just gonna try to knock this cedar out. Hopefully, we'll see. And I don't know. We'll go from there, I guess. So we'll try it and see. I'm gonna try to I'm gonna go find a big Forstner bit and try to drill the center out a little bit. got the bottom hollowed out. I can get my whole fist in there now. So I'm gonna put some shellac on the outside of this, and then we'll pull it off the lathe. And I need to figure out what I'm gonna do for a top, and then, but we'll get it off and get the speaker and the Bluetooth module mounted, and get some buttons mounted externally for it. So I think that's about the shape I'm going for there. So we'll hollow this thing out, probably get this outside finished first before I hollow it, and then we'll turn this into a lid. Alright, I found a 2-inch Forstner bit, so we'll see how piss poorly this goes. Okay, just not at all, I guess. Okay, I got it hollowed out where everything will fit. I'm gonna snip this off, and then I'll finish this off the lathe. I just think it'll be a little bit easier. So we'll get it cut off and finish it and see if we can put this dumb thing back together, or together. Got it. Okay, so here is the Bluetooth module that I'm using. It's the TDA7492P. It's allegedly a 50x2 amplifier, or 50 watts in 2 channels. So I don't know how accurate that is. I'll put a link to the Amazon where I got that from. And then I'm going to try to put some remote buttons on here. So they are these, and I got lots of buttons. So I'm not a big electronics nerd. I think I know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna test one button first and hook everything up and make sure that when I click the button it actually does what it's supposed to do. And if it does that, then I will probably get it all soldered and then bring you guys back, because soldering is not my strong suit, and you don't need to watch me struggle through that. So that and the solder I have is far too big for what I'm doing here. So we'll see if I can destroy this $20 board with my terrible skills. Let's see, I can probably zoom in a little bit there. So, and then what I'm gonna be, this is just just using bell wire for this. So it's cheap. It should do the job just fine. Okay, I got one soldered on for the volume control.
$4.98. Pay no interest for 5 years with any Stearns & Foster or Tempur-Pedic purchase.
There we go. Muted it before the copyright material comes on. So I'm gonna get the rest of this soldered on and I will be back. But I did it and they're stuck-ish. So.
Extra power. Extra light.
Okay. I have two buttons finally. I have a volume up and a volume down. Maybe.
Pittsburgh Paints and Stains. The
No, I
perfect
don't.
paint for when the nursery becomes the bedroom. Your favorite room in the house.
Okay,
Maybe because
there
you
we go.
want to, not because you have to.
Buttons are
Results
done. That's
stand
all
out
I am
whatever
doing.
life brings.
Because that was a nightmare. I am not a good solderer. So, we'll drill 2 holes in the top. One for the up and one for the volume down. And then, where'd it go? I'm gonna put the power port right there. So, we'll start doing that, I guess. Okay. That doesn't look right. Okay, now how much do I have to hog out of the bottom of these? Can't even see them. I really should have hollowed that out a little more. Okay, I'm gonna dig out the bottom of these 2 holes so I can fit the buttons in there and we'll be back. Okay, I did that the easy way. I just took a drill bit that was bigger that fit the whole switch. So they're set in there pretty decent. I'm gonna stick those in with some hot glue and we'll move on to the next thing. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. But. No, those are gonna suck to take back out. Let's see, there we go. Man, that shadow is in a bad spot. But you get the gist. I'm just gluing them in place. Can we see it? Oh yeah, that's way better. Alright, and this little guy will fit in there eventually. Good grief. I'm struggling with the framing tonight. Sorry, fellas. So, it'll stick in there just like that, and then I'll be able to run a wire from the back side of this to the other side of this adapter that plugs into the Bluetooth module. So it all looks nice and clean, hopefully. So I'll hollow the back of that out so I can get that in there. We'll come back and put it all together and see how it sounds. Okay, got the hole big enough on the back side. Thought I would be smart and use a drill bit to get this hole a little bigger, and it grabbed and pulled straight through. So my hole is way oversized for what it should be on the outside, but it will still work. It should be in the back and fairly well hidden. So we'll get this thing in there. See, I don't know if I can put some putty in there or something, clean it up a little bit, make it look a little better. So we'll start putting this thing together and see how it sounds. I'm not overly confident on how I'm doing this, and I'm really not overly confident on this Bluetooth module either, but we will see how it sounds. That, and I'm not an audio expert. This is a fairly decent speaker, but and I don't know if having it ground fire is going to be an issue, make the quality worse, or if it'll make it sound okay. But I guess we will find out shortly, hopefully. They did sound very good in my car. When there was two of them. Unfortunately, I only have one now because I'm dumb. Okay. So there's that. And I think, I guess all I have to do is plug it in now. And we're done. Fancy. I'm gonna glue this top on. My connection isn't as it's not as tight as I want, so I don't want somebody coming in and grabbing it by the top and then ending up pulling it apart. So I would prefer that not happen. These terminals really aren't terribly great. I think the problem is I'm a little bit long here. We'll see if that helps. Oh, way better. Cut your lead shorter. Okay. Plug that in. Stuff all the wires inside. Oh, I didn't even think about this thing fitting with the boy, I cut those really long too. Good grief. Boy. shorten those, but I might have to. Because I don't know if that's gonna work, and that's really ugly looking. Okay, I'll be back. I need to think about what I'm gonna do here. Okay, so there it is. I haven't glued the top back on yet because I don't have super glue with me today because I brought it all to a job site. It actually sounds pretty good. I don't know how well this camera is gonna pick it up, but let's see. It needs to be further off the table, and it may help if I get it off a piece of plywood, but so it gets a little muffled when it's next to something. I would assume it's because there's a 1/4 inch of air in between it and the surface. So maybe in the future I'll put some legs on there or something, but for what it is, it sounds pretty good. So there it is. Well, geez, framing. Thanks for watching, guys.